Look, there's nothing we can do about keeping people from keeping their properties vacant. There's no law that we can have, and Lamar's pointed out many times that that sorts of laws in other cities just haven't worked. We provide a vacancy tax on some properties. What we need to do is just fix what's going on here. We need to clean up Dixie Highway and Federal Highway. We need to get rid of the pimps and the hookers and the johns and the drug dealers and the addicts that buy from. I'm a member of the Lake Worth Advocacy Group, where we go to first appearance. We had a sting a week and a half ago where some PDSO went out there acting as johns, and we arrested 5 prostitutes. We have them. They have a no contact order with the city of Lake Worth, actually with District 14, which is the city of Lake Worth. And that's the sort of thing we need to do to attract investment. We can't have the old Ritz-Carlton, the old Palm Beach, sending people to Dixie Highway to have a little bit of fun at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not the kind of image that we need, but that's the kind of image that we have. So we need to clean that up, and then we'll be able to bring some more people into town and spark some investment here. But there's nothing we can do about empty storefronts forcibly. Nothing at all.
One of the reasons that I've garnered some endorsements recently was because I do have a plan for downtown. And that plan is a parking and mobility plan for our downtown and also our thoroughfares and our corridors that lead into downtown. So what do I mean by that? So we know we have a parking problem in downtown. We've had it for a long time. What we need to do as a city is do what other cities do, which is fix their downtown parking problems. We have a problem with wayfinding in our downtown. We have a problem with lighting in and around our downtown. We have a problem with no hotel in our downtown. So when people do come to find us, it's difficult to discern where's our public parking lots, where aren't our public parking lots, what's on residential, what's not on residential. What ends up happening is that it ends up getting filled and congested in and around the downtown corridors because they're small streets, and then people turn around and they get frustrated and they leave. I'm not willing to see that happen anymore. So the answer is that you do what other cities have done when they need to grow up and they need to grow and they want to attract new investment in their downtown. You give business owners what they want. What they want is access, they want people, and they want utility rates that they can afford. Thank you very much.
That plan is in process, so we're working on a parking issue. We don't have a parking problem now. We have a parking issue that we're addressing through the CRA cooperation. What I want to do is incentivize by doing what we can do by incentivizing utility rates for the empty stores for a period of time, which can be worked out. What I don't want to do, which has been mentioned by my opponent, Mr. Copeland, wants to raise the height limit on all our entryways to the city, and I don't want to be a Bill Ray. I want to be able to market our city as a quaint seaside town that has an authentic downtown. If we could generate 4 major events like the street painting, celebrate J Street as a music street, and 2 others, we would be ahead of everybody in Palm Beach County.
When I look at the downtown, I see 2 things. One of them is a high-class problem. The other of them is a problem that we can fix really through our zoning code. So the first thing I'll say is that we have a downtown that's in transition. Okay, yes, it is true that there are vacant storefronts on Lake Avenue, but it's also true that we've seen activity in places in downtown that we haven't seen in a long time. I think what used to be the Hummingbird Hotel, which is now going to be some micro offices, I think is a prime example of that. We have a new Mediterranean restaurant on the corner of Lake and Dixie. We have a clothing store about to come in at 705 Lake Avenue where Hoffman's Chocolate used to be. Downtown's transition. Vacancies are part of the story of a downtown. And that is, by the way, a high-class problem. What I would say, though, is that, in my opinion, there is not the critical mass of human beings living in and around the downtown to sustain economic activity there. And so what we need if we want to have these storefronts open up, we need customers living there within a half mile who can patronize those shops before they go to work and who can patronize those shops when they come home. We need to change our zoning code to allow more housing in and around the downtown. Thank you, I appreciate it.
So there is no one answer for our downtown issues. Parking is a problem. Personally, again, I'm not cool enough to go when it's is super busy, so I don't have a parking problem. I know where to park, but I know that businesses say we have a parking problem. I know that commercial building owners say that people aren't coming because we have a parking problem, so we have a parking problem. If it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow, so we do need to take care of that. The thing that I also truly stand with is how dirty our city is.
Yeah.
We have a street sweeper that comes through, does not spray water, instead sheds dirt all over our sidewalks, our businesses, our cars. We need a pressure wash or something fierce. And we need some landscaping updates. I think if we can start with that, we can deal with some marketing, and Omari is right too. We do need to bring in some more density into our downtown area. Thank you.
That's fine, yeah.
Historic preservation affects most of Parrot Cove. In fact, almost the entire neighborhood does fall into that, except for a small strip along the golf course. What are your thoughts on the current process, the recent changes, and what would you do to improve it? We'll start with Mr. Coleman.
Sure, thanks. I just want to clear something up. In the last debate, what I suggested is that if we want to get rid of some of the problems in our downtown thoroughfares that lead into downtown, so you think about our city thoroughfares, Dixie, Federal, 10th, 6th, and then Lake and Lucerne west of Dixie. What I suggested is if you want development, as we all agree that we want, you do have to raise your height restrictions in and around those. I never said we should raise our height restrictions in downtown Lake Worth. I just wanted to clear that up real fast. Now onto the Historic Preservation Resource Board. I've had the pleasure of sitting in on that board a number of times. That board is comprised of some incredible professionals. These are professional architects, these are designers, these are city planners, these are people that know their business in and out. And I have heard from people that they've had problems with getting certain things done in the historic districts. I live in a historic district myself, but what I'd like to see is I'd like to see the codes simplified to some extent. I don't think we need to tear our codes up and start all over, but I do think that there's some efficiencies and simplifications that can go on. But I would actually lean on that board to find out what some of those answers are so that we can fix some of those problems that we know we have to just create some more efficiencies. Thank you.
Historic preservation is an economic engine to Lake Worth. I was chairman of historic preservation. Not an easy job when you have to make decisions about neighbors' properties. We have passed guidelines for historic preservation that are much clearer and distinct in what you can and can't do. It still comes down to a case-by-case judgment on property, and the board needs to make those judgments with respect to the property, the individual property, and the effect on the neighborhood and the effect on the town. I'm a supporter of historic preservation, and I think it works as best it can when we have to regulate construction and people's taste and development of property. So I look forward to historic preservation's success, continued success.
Well, one thing that I can say is that after Commissioner Robinson and I got elected 2 years ago, one of the first things we did was fix the historic preservation ordinance. We actually hired a consultant. Her name was Nancy Stroud. Okay, she's renowned around this state for the work that she does around historic preservation, and we rewrote the ordinance. We then had to send that ordinance to the Secretary of State for the state of Florida because he is deputized to supervise all these cities with their historic preservation programs.